Hello everyone. I thought I'd create a video tutorial to show you how to create a poster in Photoshop. Now in class we had a look at this as an idea, be a digital hero, and I told you that I really like this poster. It had a number of layers, so we've got a grey layer, we have some text here, some matrix type of text, we have a green circle, and then we have some more text. We've got two superheroes, a male hero and a female hero. Then we have a text over the top, be a digital hero. So I thought we could use that as an idea, and I'm going to show you how to create this today. So it's not quite like that idea. Some elements are here. I've got some matrix text. I've got a Batgirl here, and I've done something different. I've got a slightly different slogan here. So I'm going to go and show you how to do this right now. So I've already set my document up. It's going to be A4 and it's going to be print quality. So my version of Photoshop looks a bit different to your version of Photoshop, but that's okay, you'll understand what I'm doing. First thing I want to do is let's have a look at our inspiration here. I like this colour grey, so how can we get this colour grey in for what we want? So the first thing I can do is use the eyedropper tool. And if I put the eyedropper tool here, what I can do is I can actually select that colour grey now. So I'll just select that colour grey. Now I'm going to go to my actual file here. So what I'm going to do, that's the foreground colour, it's that nice colour grey. So if I go fill now, foreground colour, I go OK. So now I have that nice colour grey as our background. So I'm going to call that now, over here you can't see it, but you'll see it when I do it. So the background colour. There we go. Second thing I want to do is actually create a circle, a round circle. Now that colour of the round circle, I want this light green colour. So I use the eyedropper again to create a nice green colour. I go here, I'm going to create a new layer. So I'm going to call this one, very carefully select the text there, I'm going to call it circle. What I'll do is select the circle up here, so it might look like a square when you first see it, but then I can select the circle here. I'm going to start the circle just above the canvas. I'll start it just here and hold down shift. If I hold down shift, it'll keep it as a circle. Otherwise I'll be creating an oval. I don't want to do that. I'm going to drag it right down. There's a bit out there. It's a bit off to the centre, but that's roughly where I want it to be. Now it's a bit off to the centre, so I'm going to hold down the arrow keys, the up, down, left and right arrows, until I get it roughly in the centre again. It's nearly there, maybe a bit more. That'll do just about there. So now what I'll do, because I don't want to be disturbed by anyone, so I'll go here, and now what I want to do, make sure I'm in the circle layer. I'm going to then go fill, foreground colour, and I create that nice green circle. I go Control D to get rid of the highlight there, to get rid of the selection. So what have I got now? I have got a nice background, and I've also got a nice green circle here. The next thing I want to drag into my final work is some matrix text. So I'm going to go here, and I've got matrix text 1. Now what you should be able to do is just drag this straight into the window here and let go, and we create some matrix text like that. You'll see that it's a bit smaller. Now I've told you not to do this on low quality images, but this image is a bit big and we only want it as a background anyway, so it's not going to be for much detail. So if it pixelates a bit, it doesn't really matter, we can blur it later on anyway. So I'm just going to create the right size here, then double click. So now I've got a nice matrix text, but you can't see anything because it's blocking out things underneath. I can't see the circle or the background. Let's have a look how I did this in my final one. Where I've got this matrix text here, I've misnamed it circle, but you'll see that I've got soft light. These are blends, and you'll see that the opacity is 57. Soft light is the blend, opacity is 57. If we do that on our final, it will actually look the same. So now I go to soft light, and I'm going to make it, you can see straight away it changes, 57. Now you can change this, you can make this stronger or weaker and change some few things around, but you'll see now I've got a few elements here. So I've got some matrix text, the circle, but we haven't got the superheroes. What I've done is I've found a superhero online, Batgirl transparent. So what I'm going to do is now, I'll create a different layer, before I do that. And I'm going to drag the Batgirl into here. So it's got a white background, and it's actually got a transparent background. Now I won't resize Batgirl, but I'll actually drag her so her body is coming up like that. I don't want her floating in midair. So that looks about right to me, sort of roughly about centre. Could be a bit off centre, you might experiment with that. So double click. Now that's Batgirl there, and I don't want to use that because I just want to use the shape, and someone else created all that artwork. I only want to use the outline of that shape. If you presented that to me, I'd say that you've been copying someone else. I think it's okay to use the shape, but not someone else's detail artwork. What I'll do now is I'm going to use the magic wand tool. You'll see that there might be in your toolbar quick selection tool, but I'm going to make sure I click the magic wand tool. It should roughly be in the same position. I'm going to just click there somewhere. You'll see that I've selected everything except the image here. You can see I've selected all the outside of it. Now if yours is cutting into the image a bit, you may want to play with what we call tolerance. But you should be able to select all of it here. What I'm going to do now, I want to select the inside, not the outside. So what I'm going to do is select inverse. Now you'll see that the outside isn't selected, but just Batgirl. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to change the palette colour by clicking onto the green there. I've got what we call a colour picker in Photoshop, which is just here. Now I'm going to drag this right down until I just get black. I just want just black. So I go OK. So now black is selected here. We'll go up here again. I want to make sure that I've selected the right shape, and I'm in Batgirl transparent there. It's still not coming up as a fill for some reason. What happens if I select it now? Now I created a new layer to put my fill in. So then I go fill, foreground colour, OK. So I deselect that now. So now you'll see that I've got this background, this transparent shape here. It's a bit jaggedy on the edges. We could use a bit of blur later on to fix that up. Take this out for the time being. We've nearly finished. So I need to put another layer of matrix text over that. So what I'll do now is I'll go matrix text 2. I'm going to drag that over here, and it should create another layer over the top. Like before, this time I go Control T, drag that up to the top there. I'll drag that down to the bottom there, and double click. You can't see any of the background details, but what I can do is I'll show you what I did in my final here. So that layer there, I've just put soft light. So let's see what happens if I do that. Normal, soft light, then you'll see I've got another layer of matrix text over here. All we need to do now is add some text. So I gave my text in my final one just above above Batgirl here. So I put 2 layers of text. Let's see what I can do. So above Batgirl there, I've got above Batgirl, I'm going to select some text, big text. Over here in the window that you can't quite see, I've selected impact. Now your font might be a bit different, but that's okay. So I can't find it here. Here it is, impact. And my size is quite big, so what did I write in my one? I write be a cyber hero. So I'll make sure I select the text again. Now, the colour I've selected is white, so I'm going to select a white background. So there's a white background. And I also made the text quite big as well, so my text was right up to 72. And then I can just shift it to where I want it to go. So I'll move to roughly around there. Where did I put it? Above her ear there. Roughly around about there. I might have to play around and move some things around. So be a cyber hero. So I've also put the text effect I put on here is overlay and 93. So I go here and I'll select overlay, and then I'm going to go down to 93. And that's it there. Now in my final image here, Batgirl's a bit smaller, so I'm going to make her a bit smaller and change it around. So what I'm going to do, here I'm going to go Control T. I'm just going to make Batgirl just a bit smaller. I'm going to hold down Shift, just make it just a bit smaller so I can fit this text in. And I'll double click, it's roughly where the shape I want. And there, using the move tool, be a cyber hero, just fits in there. It's roughly where I want it to be. And I like it just behind the ear. I didn't do that before, but that looks even better than how I did it the first time. So be a cyber hero. Now the next bit of text I have in my final, help others online. You see I've got a different type of text here. So let's write that in now. Again, above here, so if I select text, I'll create a new layer. And the text I've selected here is I've selected a text called Arial. You can use a different font, but I just wanted to change the font a bit. And I've changed the font size right down to about 48, so it's quite small. So I'll just put help others online. Now that's facing the wrong way. So I'll double click out of that. I can rotate that. How I do that is I go to Edit, Transform, Rotate. Now I can just turn that around. I'll hold down Shift till I get it straight up and down. And then I'll drag that little centre part. Oh, I won't do that. Double click. I'll use the Move tool. And just about there. So it's sort of lined up with the H again. I can use the arrow keys to make it up and down. So that text really stands out now. I'm quite happy with that. So what I did just as a final touch is I made that text, help others online. I also said overlay and I made that 85. So if I go overlay now, overlay, and I'm going to go roughly about there. Just a bit of a problem here. Batgirl's belt is stopping me seeing the E. So I might want to just go to Batgirl and just move her just across a bit. That's beautiful. Now I can see the whole thing. So that's the final image. As you see, it's similar to this. I've used some of the elements, but I've created my own shape as well. I'm quite happy with that, and I hope you enjoy this tutorial.